there, thanks for tuning in. Flora here with Jam-Packed Business Made Easy with AI. Have you ever felt stuck trying to write your website? You know what you offer, but staring at that blank screen makes it feel impossible to explain in a way that actually connects and converts. In this episode, we'll show you how to use AI to go from zero to a polished, high-converting website, even if writing isn't your thing. From homepage headlines to sales copy that sells, we're walking you through the exact prompts and tools that we use to help business owners bring their website to life without the overwhelm.
Okay, so let's talk about your website in, 2025 and beyond. It's really not just an online brochure anymore, is it?
No, not at all. It's like your digital headquarters, your main credibility builder, maybe even your primary sales engine, depending on your business.
Definitely. And yet, I think for so many business owners, maybe you're feeling this too, the idea of actually building or upgrading a website can feel, overwhelming. There's all the tech talk, the jargon.
And just figuring out all the steps involved, it can seem like a huge mountain to climb. You're definitely not alone if you feel that way.
Absolutely. And that's precisely why we're doing this deep dive today. We've gathered a bunch of sources you shared covering, why a modern site is so crucial now, the different ways people are actually building them.
Right, the different technologies and approaches.
Exactly. And the practical steps, step by step. So our goal here is to really unpack all that, cut through the noise, and pull out the key insights, maybe even some surprising facts, to give you a clearer picture for 2025.
Yeah, so you can walk away understanding not just the what, but the why and the how, and feel a bit more confident about making decisions for your own business, whatever your tech comfort level is.
Okay, let's jump right into the core reason.
Hmm.
Why does this matter so much now? The materials we looked at were pretty emphatic. Having a business website in 2025 isn't really optional anymore.
It's pretty much non-negotiable. And a huge reason for that came up again and again, is control. Think about social media. It's valuable for sure, but you're essentially renting space.
Mm-hmm. Building on someone else's platform.
Exactly. Algorithms change, policies shift. You could even lose your account. It's risky. Your website, though, that's your digital property.
Yeah.
You control the message, the brand experience, how customers interact with you. It's yours.
And this is where the sources got really interesting for me. It's not just about having a site, but having a modern, well-designed one. One source used this phrase that jumped out. It can make you look 10x more legit online.
Yeah, that quote really landed. And they didn't just say it. They broke down how it does that, how it builds that vital trust and credibility. A big piece is just the professional modern design.
First impressions, right?
Totally. An outdated site, one that looks like it hasn't been touched in years, it instantly makes visitors pause. It might signal you're stagnant, maybe not even trustworthy. A clean, current design signals professionalism right away.
It's like walking into a clean, well-organized store versus a dusty, cluttered one.
Perfect analogy. Then there's consistent brand identity. Your website is the anchor for your brand online. Getting your visuals, your logo, your colors, your messaging consistent there makes you far more memorable and, again, trustworthy across all platforms.
And security that's moved beyond just a tech issue, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge trust signal now. Things like having HTTPS, that little padlock icon showing the connection is secure,
Yeah.
using reliable payment gateways if you sell online.
Yeah.
That's not just about protecting data, technically.
It's about showing you care about their safety.
Exactly. It reassures visitors that you take their privacy and security seriously. That confidence is, critical if you want them to engage or buy anything.
What about the actual information? Does keeping things fresh matter?
Hugely. The source is highlighted, updated, reliable content. If your blog hasn't been updated in 2 years or your contact info is wrong, it feels like the lights are off.
Makes you wonder if the business is still active.
Right. Conversely, having clear contact details, maybe some team bios, fresh testimonials, it shows you're active, reliable, and there are real people behind the business. That builds confidence.
And the experience of actually using the site, speed, navigation.
Oh, user experience is paramount. The sources stressed improve user experience. If your site is slow to load, if people can't find what they're looking for easily, if it doesn't work well on their phone, they're gone.
And so much traffic is mobile now.
Over 63%, according to one source, so it has to be mobile responsive. A smooth, fast, intuitive experience keeps people engaged instead of frustrated.
And showing that other people trust you is social proof.
Yep. Critical for credibility. Social proof and authority. Things like testimonials, customer reviews, case studies seeing that others have had a good experience with you is incredibly powerful third-party validation.
And I guess all of this The design, the speed, the security, the content, it all feeds into how search engines like Google see you too.
Directly. Better SEO and visibility. Google actively favors sites that are secure, fast, mobile-friendly, and offer a good user experience. So a modern, well-maintained site naturally tends to rank better. That increases your visibility and reinforces your reputation as a credible source.
So the message here is really clear. Your website isn't just a nice-to-have flyer. It's a fundamental pillar of your business's trust and credibility online. If yours feels dated or neglected,
You're likely missing out on significant opportunities and maybe even actively hurting your reputation. It's a strategic asset you just can't ignore in 2025.
okay, so we know why it's crucial. Let's shift gears to the how. How are businesses actually building these sites today? The sources pointed to a real evolution in the tools available.
Yeah, it's actually quite fascinating. The technology is becoming both more powerful and more accessible, which is great news for business owners who aren't, hardcore coders.
So what are some of the main approaches the materials highlighted?
Well, one trend that's getting a lot of attention is AI-powered website builders. Think tools like Wix ADI or Squarespace has some AI features now too.
How does the AI actually help?
It can really speed up the initial setup. The AI might ask you a few questions about your business and goals, and then it can suggest layouts, color palettes, font pairings, even generate some draft content like headlines or service descriptions.
Wow, so it gives you a running start, especially if design isn't your strong suit.
Exactly. It automates some of those initial decisions that can feel paralyzing. Then you've got the whole area of no-code and low-code platforms. These are tools like Webflow, Bubble, maybe Wix Velo fits in here too.
And how are they different from, say, a simple builder or traditional coding?
They sort of bridge the gap. They let you build much more sophisticated, interactive websites, things that might have needed a developer before, but using visual interfaces, drag and drop, maybe some simple logic builders.
So more power than a basic builder, but without needing deep coding knowledge.
Precisely. Webflow is known for letting designers build really custom, high-performance sites visually. Bubble is more geared towards building actual web applications with databases and workflows. Wix Velo lets you add custom code within the familiar Wix editor, hence the low-code part. They're really powerful for startups or businesses wanting custom features fast.
Did the sources touch on the more heavy-duty technical approaches?
Briefly, yes. They mention things like headless CMS and Jamstack. That's more for complex projects needing top-tier speed, security, and scalability. I think large enterprises or complex web apps. And also progressive web apps, PWAs, which try to give websites an app-like feel, even with some offline functionality.
Okay, so it's a diverse landscape. But the big trend seems to be tools getting more powerful while becoming easier to use for non-developers, at least for many common business needs.
That's a great summary. The main takeaway is there's no single best way anymore. The right choice really depends on your specific needs. How complex does the site need to be? What's your budget? What's your technical comfort level?
Right. Okay, so we get the why, credibility, impact. We've explored the types of tools available. Now for the real nuts and bolts. The actual steps involved in building a site. The sources laid out a pretty practical path. What's job number one?
Before you do anything else, the sources really hammer this home. Step one, pick your website purpose. You have to be clear on what you want the site to do.
Is it just an online business card? Somewhere to send people for basic info?
Or is it meant to generate leads? Provide customer support? Is it a full online store where people buy things directly? Your core goal dictates everything that follows the features, the design, the platform. It's foundational.
Makes sense. Okay, what's next?
Step two seems simple, but it's crucial. Step two, list potential domain names. Your website's address, like your digital street address.
And the advice was to brainstorm a decent list, maybe 10 or 15 names.
Yeah. Think short, memorable, easy to spell, relevant to your brand. And here's a great tip they shared. Don't check if they're available right away.
Oh, why not?
Just make your list first. Checking availability too early can put pressure on you. If your top choices are gone, you might panic and grab something mediocre. Make the list, then check. It avoids that snap decision.
Huh. I like that. Clever psychology. Okay, names brainstormed. Then what?
Step three. Plan your website pages and functions. Map out the structure. You'll need the basics. Home, about, contact, product, services. But then there's the stuff people often forget.
Like the legal pages.
Exactly. Legal notices. The sources specifically mention things like ADA for accessibility, CCPA and GDPR for privacy, COPIA if you deal with children, WCAG accessibility guidelines.
Whoa, that sounds like a legal minefield.
It can be. And the advice is definitely to consult a lawyer for proper guidance tailored to your business and location. But the good news is many website builders now offer templates or pre-written boilerplate text for common pages like terms of service, privacy policy, cookie policy.
Okay, so they give you a starting point, but you still need to ensure it's right for you.
Absolutely. It's about awareness. And besides legal pages, you need to plan for any special functions, live chat, maybe a members-only area, appointment booking, specific e-commerce needs like shipping rules or tax calculations. Think through all that up front.
Which flows right into step 4. Choose your platform and website host. This feels like a big decision point. CMS like WordPress versus an all-in-one builder like Wix or Squarespace or Shopify.
It is a key fork in the road. Builders are typically easier to start with, often include hosting, less technical hassle, but maybe less flexible long-term.
Whereas a CMS like WordPress gives you tons of control, endless plugins.
But has a steeper learning curve. And you manage hosting, security, updates yourself, which takes more time and technical know-how. When looking at hosting, you really need to compare features.
Like what specifically?
Security provisions, storage space, bandwidth allowances, uptime guarantees, customer support quality, and a big one, pricing. Watch out for those low introductory rates that jump way up on renewal. Read the fine print.
Good tip. Okay, platform chosen. Step 5 is making it real. Step 5, register your domain name.
Yep, officially claim your address. The sources suggested considering a third-party domain registrar separate from your host.
Why separate?
It gives you flexibility. If you ever want to switch hosting providers later, your domain isn't tied up with the old host. It's easier to just point it to the new place. And remember, you're leasing the name yearly, usually around $10 to $50 for a .com, not buying it outright.
Got it. Step 6. Step 6. Pick and customize a template. Start making it look like your business.
Right. Most platforms offer themes or templates. Use one as a starting point, then customize it with your brand colors. One source even mentioned using color psychology, like warm tones for food businesses, green for nature, blue for trust. Choose easy-to-read fonts, limit yourself to maybe 2 or 3, upload your logo, create a little favicon for browser tabs.
Okay, structure's there, look is defined. Step 7. Step 7, add your content. Time to actually fill the pages.
Text, images, videos, product details, whatever your site needs. And here's where one source gave a really strong warning about AI text generators.
Oh yeah, what was the issue?
They can be helpful for brainstorming or a rough first draft, but you absolutely cannot just copy-paste. They make mistakes, can sound generic or awkward, and sometimes just make stuff up, hallucinations they call it. The example was hilarious and horrifying. Different pizza places using AI ended up with almost identical about pages, some even recommending competitors.
Yikes. Okay, so AI as a tool, not a replacement for human writing and editing. What about images?
Image sizing is crucial. Big, unoptimized photos are a primary cause of slow websites, especially on mobile. Aim for appropriate dimensions, maybe 1,000, 1,500 pixels wide for full-width images, and always compress them to reduce file size without killing quality.
Makes sense. Step 8, getting seen. Step 8, optimize for mobile and SEO.
2 critical pieces. Mobile optimization means your site must automatically resize and reformat beautifully for phones and tablets. Over 63% mobile traffic, remember, it has to work vertically. SEO, search engine optimization, is about helping Google understand what your pages are about.
Like using keywords.
Yes, naturally within your text and titles. Also adding descriptive alt text to images, creating a sitemap, which is like a table of contents for search engines, and submitting that sitemap to Google Search Console. Many platforms like Wix or Shopify do the sitemap automatically. With WordPress, you might use a plugin like Yoast SEO.
And tracking results with analytics.
Essential. You need analytics set up to see how people are finding your site, what they do when they get there, and where you might be losing them.
Okay, nearly there. Step 9. Step 9, test thoroughly. Kicking the tires before you go live.
Yes. Look at your site on different browsers, different devices, desktop, tablet, phone. Click every single link. Test every form. If you have e-commerce, go through the entire checkout process. Make sure everything works.
And proofread.
Critically important. Get someone else, a fresh pair of eyes, to read everything. You'll be blind to typos after staring at it for hours.
So true. And finally, the moment of truth. Step 10, launch.
Push the button. But the advice was maybe do a soft launch first. Make the site live, but spend a day or 2 testing it yourself in the real world on different networks before you make a big announcement or start sending paid traffic. Catch any last-minute glitches.
That's a really solid, practical roadmap. But the sources also stress that launching isn't the finish line, right? What about after your website is live?
Absolutely not. Set it and forget it. You've got ongoing tasks. First, tell people. Update your email signature, your social media profiles printed on business cards, and definitely update your Google business profile. Keep the content fresh, maybe a monthly blog post or updating testimonials.
On the technical side.
Yep, ongoing maintenance.
Yeah.
Keep your platform, theme, and any plugins or apps updated. This is crucial for security. Regularly check your analytics to see what's working, monitor for security threats, and don't forget to pay your domain and hosting renewal fees.
And tying it all together, the sources mention building a cohesive online presence.
Right, where your website serves as the central hub, the linchpin.
Yeah.
All your other online activities, social media, ads, email should ideally drive people back to your site. Consistency in branding and messaging across all these touch points is key. And internally, make sure your team knows how to use the site and talks about it consistently.
So a really comprehensive look. We've covered the why, the absolute need for credibility, the what, the different building approaches, including these newer AI and no-code tools, and the how, those practical steps to get it done and keep it running.
Understanding all those pieces really empowers you to make better decisions, whether you're building your first site or upgrading an existing one. It's about making sure your online presence is truly working for your business.
And, as we went through all this material, particularly the steps involved and the different tech choices, it really highlighted something else. Even with more accessible tools, pulling it all together effectively, it can still feel like a lot, right? Especially when you're busy actually running your business.
Oh, for sure. The sources acknowledge that.
Yeah.
While DIY is more possible than ever, making sure a site isn't just live, but is actually well-designed, secure, optimized for conversions, legally compliant, that takes time and expertise. They did mention various resources available for businesses that decide they need help.
Yeah, and one source, actually the one talking about making you look 10x more legit, specifically mentioned a new initiative from their team. It kind of stood out.
I remember that part. They were talking about a new division focused specifically on AI-powered website design and development.
Exactly. It was framed as a service designed to build those clean, modern, high-converting sites we've been talking about, the ones that really boost credibility. They mentioned using AI for efficiency, focusing on conversion-first design and aiming for a fast turnaround. They even introduced the person leading it.
Right, someone with a strong background joining their team to head it up. It sounded like a focused solution for businesses wanting that professional edge without tackling the whole build themselves.
Precisely. And they presented it almost as a first look or early opportunity for their audience before a wider launch.
Like an insider track.
Yeah. So look, if you've been listening to all this and thinking, okay, I know my site needs an upgrade, or maybe I finally need to get a real site built and the DIY path just feels like too much right now.
Then exploring a dedicated service like the one highlighted in that source, one that leverages AI and focuses specifically on that modern, credible, conversion-focused outcome, would be a really smart option to investigate.
It's just another path, right? Recognizing that whether you build it yourself using these evolving tools or you decide to bring in specialized help that understands these modern approaches, the goal is the same, getting that high-impact website working for you.
Absolutely. It's about finding the right approach for your situation to achieve that result.
Definitely. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. In today's crowded digital world, just having an online presence isn't enough anymore. The real value comes when that presence instantly signals trust, professionalism, and authority. How can your website become your most credible asset starting today? That's really the question to mull over.